Happy birthday, princess. It's your birthday, Quinn. I hope you have a very, very special day with lots of big party time. And remember, it's not Prince's birthday. It's not Prince's birthday. It's not your birthday, Quinn. Happy birthday, Quinn. I hope you have a very, very special day turning 28, listening to the X Zone. We love you.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
In silence where no light is shown, Isis, Osiris, Horus standing tall, guardians of a mystery that still can call. A canyon carved by ages, older than all time, yet whispers tell a story hidden in the climb. A newspaper cried, the truth's been found beneath the earth, beneath the ground. Hieroglyphs and chambers deep, are they waking from their sleep? Who walked these canyon walls before? What secrets hide forevermore? Egypt's shadow, nothing's ever what it seems. The names are real upon the stone, yet truth still stands so all alone. Between what's proven, what's unknown, the Grand Canyon keeps its own. Climbed toward a hidden cave, past towering cliffs the river gave. Copper relics, ancient halls, echoes whisper through the walls. Buddha's image, lotus bloom, mysteries buried in the gloom. Was it legend, was it true? History leaves so few clues. The Smithsonian says no trace remains. The questions still survive, the chains, lost photographs, forgotten names. Who remembers, who explains? The tribes have walked these lands for ages, their stories written on history's pages. Honor the past, respect the ground, some answers still have not been found. Who carved these canyon walls of fire? Human desire to seek the truth beneath the sky and ask the questions how and why. The temples stand beneath the sun. The search for truth is never done. The names are real, the proof is thin. Where does the mystery begin? Perhaps it's myth, perhaps it's fact, perhaps the canyon still holds back. A story waiting to be known beneath the timeless desert stone. Until that day, we all remain searching the Grand Canyon once again.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, and for the next 2 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we will cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And we come to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network, the CanCom Broadcast Network, and of course our good friends at your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, streaming us around the world on classic1220.ca. Before we get into the show, I would like to wish Quinn, who listens to us on the, Quinn listens to us on Classic 1220 CFAJ right here in St. Catharines. So Quinn, from everyone here at the X Zone, and I'm sure Peter and the gang at Classic 1220 CFAJ, a very happy birthday to you, and thanks to Maxie for letting us know about this. And we've got a few little presents for you that are going to be, you probably have them by now. But do me a favor, check www. Should I tell you now? No, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you a little later because we've got a very special surprise for you on the X Zone website. X Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Grandmaster Ze, and we're going to be talking to him about global consciousness. There's a big shift happening, and we're going to be talking to him as this shift is causing a bridge between ancient spiritual wisdom, interstellar disclosure, and modern metaphysical commerce. For 5 decades, serving as a bridge between ancient spiritual wisdom, interstellar contact and disclosure, plus modern metaphysical commerce. And joining me now is Grandmaster Ze. And Grandmaster, welcome back to the X Zone.
Oh, what a pleasure it is to be with you, Brother Rob, and happy birthday to Quinn, and blessings to all your listeners.
This galactic shift that you're talking about, what is it?
Oh, I have got the perfect answer for you, Rob. In order to do that, and I will answer it exactly, because that's the answer, that what the shift is really going to give us. And I researched it and prayed for it, invoked it, spoke with the Confederation about it, and it was delivered to me last night. And I'm going to share it with your guests. And I'd like to start with a little, what they call a sunburst opening statement, if I may.
Sure, please go right ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. And this is from them and I together. Good evening, global family, and welcome back to the Star Bridge here on the X Zone radio station from beloved Canada. We look out at the world today, and it is easy to get caught up in analyzing the shadows. We see the corruption that once hid in the dark is now standing boldly in the daylight, hollering at us, wearing the suits and the ties and speaking from the podiums. The corruption has moved from the clandestine shadows into the daylight. The beast is no longer trying to hide in the belly. It is wearing the suit and speaking from the podium, hollering at us. OMG! It is what we call the belly of the beast, and for too long humanity has exhausted its energy by trying to punch at the darkness. But as a grandmaster and a long-time observer of these shifting tides, Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm here to tell you that you cannot defeat the shadow by fighting it on its own terms. You dissolve it by shifting its frequency, introducing a higher frequency where you're in charge. Tonight, we are initiating the ultimate pivot. We are taking our sovereignty tonight back from the corporate scripts. The stars have aligned for this, which I'll be explaining shortly, and take back from the corporate scripts in the political chaos, and we are redirecting our focus entirely toward the light through the power of mass global meditation, high-frequency wellness, cosmic awareness, and love for one another. We, the people, are anchoring the new Earth architecture right here, right now. So uncork your minds, clear your channels, and let's steady the fleet. For we have some very special information to share with you. And so I must move right into your answer. I apologize for it being a little lengthy, but it's needed in order to get to it. May I continue?
Please do, sir.
Thank you, sir. And so this came afterwards.
You know what,
that,
Dr. Grandmaster, what we're going to do is, because we're getting very close to a commercial break, what I'd like to do is hold on here, because I'm sure that the listeners would appreciate it more if I would let the commercial come in now, and then we can get to the meat of this topic, because I know it's very important, and I don't want to interrupt you. I just want you to talk and let us know how important this is.
You are the master of how these shows flow, Rob. There's no doubt about that, so please do as you wish.
All right, my good friend, please stand by. X-Zone Nation, this is the X-Zone. My guest this hour is Dr. Grandmaster Ze, founder of Stardoves, a spiritual teacher and researcher whose work explores consciousness, humanity's cosmic origins, spiritual evolution, extraterrestrial contact, and the future of human civilization. Now, throughout this interview, we're going to be taking a deep look into the ideas, claims, and philosophies that have attracted followers around the world. The X-Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard, Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on the CanCom Broadcast Network and your hometown radio, Classic 1220, CFAJ AM, streaming us at classic1220.ca. Now, when we come back, all ears are going to be wide open. We're going to listen with intent. We're going to listen because the message that we're about to hear is very important. It's a message that you'll only hear right here in the X-Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell. So whatever you do, don't go away.
The ancient stone, secrets sleep in silence, where no light is shown. Isis, Osiris, Horus standing tall, guardians of... Out beyond the midnight sky, where the silver star trails run, there are lights that move in silence, far beyond the waking sun. Some call them angels descending, some call them ships from the blue. But when they shine through the darkness, they feel like something true. Are they messengers from heaven, or travelers from the stars? Are they watching from the cosmos, knowing who we are? Angels, UFOs, heavenly visitors, lighting up the night with wonder in their eyes.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get back to our very special guest of this hour, Dr. Grandmaster Ze, Quinn, here's a little hint for you. I'd like you to go to www.xzoneradio on classic1220.ca. That's XZONERADIOONCLASSIC 1220.ca. We've got a little special surprise for you there. All right, Grandmaster, please continue, sir.
Excuse me, sir. You caught me just as I was taking a great big old swig of my beautiful crystal clear oxygenated water in my huge big glass jug with the cork. I just corked it, and here we go.
Many people get corked on this show, so you're not alone.
We're talking now about the cradle of Barbeau's basket, which is the astrological alignment everybody's talking about. If not, look it up, friends. I'm not going to spell it for you, but just call it the cradle is good enough. Astrological configuration, the cradle. And what it is it's an astrological configuration, which is a complete rare planetary alignment, if ever, like this predicted long, hundreds of years ago by an astronomer, that this was the real time of Aquarius age. This is when the Aquarius was going to kick in, and everything would almost instantly, finally, be the real Aquarius, not the 60s and all that leading up to it. And it's happening now, from like July 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, the big pivot dates. Interesting that the universe assigned us today to have this radio show. I've been praying for the answer of how and when, and knowing the Confederation, can't come down here and change things. But we now have friends who do, called the stars themselves and the planets. And this came from my research to find out what this is really about. And it floored me. This is the answer to our prayers, all of our prayers here on earth. The Confederation, everybody, Goddess God, everybody is loving this. There's an old, timeless idea that no matter how bad things look, justice and compassion eventually win out. That tyrants and abusers of powers always fall in the end, even if they seem unstoppable for a while. On July 20th through the 22nd, and a few days before and thereafter, a very rare planetary pattern reaches its most precise point. Some call it a cradle, the cradle of civilization, bringing civil back in civilization again. Make the world civil again. Others know it by the name Barbeau's basket. I will spell it. Barbaults. I believe it was a Frenchman. Barbeau's basket. After the astrologer who tracked this kind of alignment and used it to forecast major turning points in history. He believed this configuration marked moments when power gets reshuffled and resources.
Are you all right?
I'm trying to get rid of this thing.
Oh, that's the...
that's the universe calling us, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my microphone.
My God. Okay, let me get rid of this thing.
All right, Exxon, if you'd like to get more information about... this is real radio. When things go like this, we just don't cut, stop, edit. No, what we do is we just keep on going on.
That's a part of what's really happening. We have to get rid of the what do you call them? The things that interfere before we can really get down to the business. And so I just had to get rid of that. I have every apparatus right around here trying to connect. and there they are, and there it is, and I didn't think that would happen, so forgive me. I've removed it. I put it in a place that should not be disturbing us again.
All right, so let us continue.
So, he believed this configuration marked moments when power gets reshuffled and resources get redistributed. Equals a shift in the collective mood of the entire world. This isn't a pattern that, see, something didn't want me to read this, but here we go. This isn't a pattern that shows up often, in fact, ever at all. The closest thing that may have happened was back in 1789 when Pluto sat in Aquarius and Jupiter in Leo, not quite the same, but close. And this time the setup is even tighter. That was during the French Revolution and during the time when America was being created. Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto will all land at almost the exact same degree of their signs simultaneously in a planetary alignment. At the center is a standoff Jupiter in Leo facing off against Pluto in Aquarius with Uranus in Gemini and Neptune in Aries. I hope that everybody gets a little idea of what all that means, but here they're going to tell us what it means.
All right, buddy. You always have to watch out wherever you put Uranus.
I wouldn't touch Uranus with a 10-foot cradle.
That's all right. The tallest pole is usually about 6'5".
The cradle of Barbeau's basket tension in July 2026. The opposition at the heart of this pattern represents something we can't avoid facing. It's right in our face. Equals issues that have to be dealt with. Even if the process feels risky or like things are spiraling in the wrong direction, that experience will look different for each person. But on a collective level, because of the planetary energies changing our dimension, our planet, the Jupiter Leo opposite Pluto Aquarius tends to spotlight power that's been hoarded or misused, which is exactly the kind of event Barbeau thought this pattern would predict. Wherever Pluto sits tends to show where power is concentrated. During its long stay in Capricorn, power stayed locked up at the top in the institutions, hierarchies, old structures. Now that it's moved into Aquarius, the pull is toward spreading that power back out to the collective, to the ordinary, everyday people struggling in the streets. But change like that rarely happens on its own, right? It usually needs a spark. That spark tends to come from friction on the streets, killings on the streets. Those holding power resist giving it up, while those without it grow increasingly impatient. Jupiter, forming this exact opposition to Pluto, supplies exactly that kind of pressure, giving the shift, the momentum to actually happen. One thing this kind of Jupiter-Pluto alignment tends to do is make abuses of power impossible to ignore. Corruption isn't new, but under this transit, this new world of Aquarius, it stops being subtle. It becomes in your face, and we the people won't tolerate it. Those enriching themselves through underhanded means might look successful for a moment, but that success won't last. It leads to a fall, my friend, and that fall is now. Not a lasting rise. With Pluto now in Aquarius, they set the stage for us, my friends. Our prayers have been answered. The long-term trend favors power ending up with people acting for the common good, not just a privileged few. The cradle of Barbeau's basket of destiny nodes things get more layered still, and just a few more lines, and I think everybody will catch the drift or the shift. One thing this kind of Jupiter-Pluto shift tends to do is make abuses of power impossible to ignore. Corruption isn't new, but under this new shift, the Aquarian shift, it stops being subtle. Those enriching themselves through underhanded means might look, I think we already did that. Things get more layered still, right? The computer jumped down. Part of working well with a Jupiter-Pluto alignment like this is doing the right thing without needing applause or reward for it. So everybody on earth is now going to work because they want to do the right thing without needing applause or to be paid for it. How do you like that, Rob?
Well, when we come back from this commercial break, we're going to talk about that as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell. If you'd like to find out more about our guest this hour, Dr. Grandmaster Ze, visit his website at www.stardoves.com. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and we will be back on the other side of this break as we continue investigating the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. In fact, we're just down the street from your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ, who stream us at classic1220.ca. We'll be back on the other side of this break, so whatever you do, don't go away or get abducted by aliens.
Out beyond the midnight sky, where the silver star trails run, there are lights that move in silence, far beyond the waking sun. Some call them angels descending, some call them ships from the blue. But when they shine through the darkness, they feel like something true. Are they messengers from heaven, or travelers from the stars? Are they watching?
When the night feels heavy and the road seems far too long, when the silence gets too loud and you're trying to stay strong, there's a light you may not see, there's a hand you may not feel, but somewhere close beside you, there's a love that's always real. Guardian angels never leave, they walk beside you through the storm. When your heart is tired and broken, they keep your spirit warm. No matter how down you're feeling, no matter where you roam, guardian angels are around you, you are never alone.
And welcome back, everyone. By the way, all the music that we are playing tonight is by our group called RAM. And we're going to have all their CDs available at www.xzoneradiotv.com as well as xzbn.net. Joining me now is Dr. Grandmaster Ze. And I must tell you that when you were reading the information that you were sharing with the X Zone Nation, Donald Trump seemed to figure prominently from what I understood. And it seems that not all is lost, that the lights are going to come on and those with power are going to do what is best for the civilization and not for the rich and the greedy and those who thirst for power and really don't give a damn about anybody else.
That's going to change. That is, yes. like overnight. Remember, we talked about that on the last show.
Yes, we did.
That one day when these changes happen, we'll be walking around and we'll say, hey, there's no more, what was his name? And that's happened already. This was a prediction. This is what this shift is about that's happening right now. And this is it. This is the grand shift that we've been waiting for. But little did I know that these exact words here would be an interpretation of it by researchers who know exactly what all of those planetary configurations mean in their interpretation of astrology, which is, it's a science that some believe in, some don't. I don't think that's neither here nor there. I take it for what it's worth when I hear it.
Yeah.
The still small voice can tell me, is this rocking my soul or is this a bunch of BS?
Right.
And I know for sure that this was the answer to my prayers. This is the only power that could do it, would be the stars and the planet, the shift itself. Because the whole consciousness gets shifted, everybody. And we refuse to have this other stuff. Not only that, but those that are doing it, they don't want to do that anymore either. It's not popular. I don't know how it all unplays. I'm just logging it in, monitoring it, seeing it, feeling it, being a part of it, and passing it on. And I'm very excited about it, Rob. I thought, well, God's not going to do it. The Space Confederation isn't going to do it. Who's going to make these changes? This is intolerable. And
so,
there it came.
Yeah. For those listeners who are listening tonight who may not have been able to join us the last time you were on, tell us about the space group that you communicate with, or that you're the emissary for here on this planet.
Well, thank you, Rob. That's a wonderful question and very important part of my work. In fact, it is my work. That's the golden cradle of what motivates me. Because I consider myself a star seed, which in the lingo perhaps during Jesus' time was be ye therefore in the world, but not of it. Well, for me, I discovered what not of it means, literally. I'm not of it. But so are many, 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 many others on this earth. There are advanced souls who have lived on other planets and have come to live in the earth at this time in these bodies as these advanced souls from other planets to help the birthing of this planet go into the age of Aquarius. That's what I've identified myself as I took a trip down to the jungles of the Yucatan and Oaxaca and Guatemala to convene with the Confederation of Planets that built those pyramids, with the peoples helping them at a time when the animals and the birds and everyone talked telepathically.
It sounds as if you're talking about the Garden of Eden.
Yes, there have been many Garden of Edens.
So how did you get involved with these star people? And how did you discover that you are in fact a star seed?
Well, I was down there in that very jungle I was talking about, and I was walking up and down the pyramids. Now, can I be totally frank with you, or should I shield some of my truth?
You can be totally frank, but if there's any language that is not suitable for young ears,
I wouldn't use bad language, Brother Rob.
Then, therefore, please be totally frank. If you want to be Frank, you can be Peter, you can be Paul, you can be whoever you want to be.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Oh, I don't think you'd want to be a Mary.
But in truth, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to hold back at this time.
True.
In the age of Aquarius, the truth rises to the top. And I went to those jungles because I was tired of living in America with a McDonald's and an Exxon on every corner. And everything was a cookie cutter thing leading to insanity. But I loved our America. Just like we love our Canada. And I also love our Mexico. I love the whole world, but I'm especially fond of America because I was born here, and I feel it has a destiny. I was even born in the land of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
Wow.
But as I looked around, go ahead.
No, I just said wow because, Philadelphia is truly the city of brotherly love, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they bombed a whole block or two of it and killed a whole lot of people, the wall. And I realized that it's not really, for whatever reason, it's not all what it's a Babylon, like Bob Marley sang about. It's turned into a hellish hell in the streets of the concrete jungle. So I left the concrete jungle to go down to the real jungle, the closest jungle I could find out of America, not to desert my beloved America, but to find out the real roots. And is it really the land of the free, home of the brave, where all the beings from all around the planet could come and live here loving one another? There's no way that's going to happen with what we got going on now.
That's true.
So I left it before, when Reagan was president. It was bad enough then. And on top of one of the pyramids down there in the jungles, there was a shaman who came up and told me that your president is the beast. I thought, oh, okay. Why do you say that? Because here, she said, I have it here in my tea leaves. His name, Ronald Wilson Reagan, is 666. He is the beast. Oh, my God. You know how many trouble convincing me of that? I was never particularly fond of Reagan, Nixon, Bush's, or the guy that's in there now. But I thought, in America, we're supposed to give both parties an equal chance. That's what democracy is about. But that's not what they're doing now. And those presidents weren't doing that. They were going towards a negative one world order, which the aliens don't. Space Confederation doesn't like that. I had to get out of this consciousness to go to the jungles. And I had to get out of my consciousness, I guess, because I was down there in the jungles. And the shaman invited me to eat some of the mushrooms that were out there in the cow patties, and said that it would give you a holy, psychic, spiritual vision.
All right, now hold on here. The shamans told you to go and eat the mushrooms that were growing in the cow patties, right?
No, they brought them to me and gave them to me and said, This is Holy Communion. This is Holy Communion for you.
Man, you should join my church. They give you wine for communion.
Well, in Oregon, they give mushrooms too now. Psilocybin mushrooms.
Wow.
And they grow down there, and they give you visions. So, but when the visions go away, you're left with who you are and what you're doing. So I didn't really go down there to have those visions, but when I realized they were available, I popped them right in. And as I was going up the pyramid, I had to sit down, and then I had to leave the pyramid altogether. It was too noisy with the tourists coming up and down. I can't collect my thoughts with this. So I had to go down and went and sat underneath a tree. And the effects of the mushroom began coming over, and I could hear the monkeys in the trees. Instead of hollering, they were speaking telepathically to me. They were telling me, you've been here before, ages ago when these pyramids were built. And our kindred and you and the space people worked together to build this place. I said, you don't say. I go, OMG, I'm going insane. I'm talking to the monkeys. And that's when I started talking to the Space Confederation. Now you asked for the truth, and I gave it to you.
So the Space Confederation represent themselves here on planet Earth as monkeys?
Yeah, didn't you see Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, I did. No. Yeah.
The monkeys were the Aborigine animals, but they were intelligent. They spoke. They weren't dumb beasts. They were beings that were monkeys. And they wouldn't just growl and make noises. They could actually speak to the people that lived there at that time. They were very advanced. This was during maybe Atlantis back then. And the people that came to help the natives, who were also very advanced, were extraterrestrials who came and landed in their ships, and they built all of that. And it was a time of peace and plenty, like a Garden of Eden back in the Mayan period.
All right.
And so I took that experience. You know, in the 60s, we did a lot of things like smoking herb and like Bob Marley did. And for me, that doesn't disqualify me as a human being that I would take LSD or mushrooms to have a vision. No, I think anybody who does that in moderation and properly with the right incentive is taking an Aquarian communion. In fact, there are many places around the world.
We've got to take our break. We've got to take our final break. So hold on to that thought. Whatever you do, don't chomp on any mushrooms while we're on this break, all right? Or smoke a doobie, or do whatever it is that gets you to talk to monkeys. We'll be back on the other side of this break, Exo Nation, as we continue investigating the world of the paranormal, the science of parapsychology, and all things in between. So whatever you do, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Close my eyes and drifted away beyond the shadows of the dying day. No fear, no pain, no tears to cry, just a peaceful silence in the sky. I felt myself rise above it all. Heard a distant voice gently call, leaving the world I thought I knew, crossing a doorway shining through. Time stood still, yet eternity moved. Every question I had was soothed. Beyond the light, beyond the night, past the stars that guide us. I saw a love that never ends, a place where every soul transcends. Beyond the light I came to see, death is not the end of me. There's a road that leads us home, but for a while we're meant to roam.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again to Quinn, who listens to the X Zone on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, streaming us at classic1220.ca. Happy birthday to you, Quinn, and don't forget to visit X Zone Radio on classic1220.ca. We've got a little surprise for you over there, and your friend Maxie made all of this possible. So to Maxie, thank you for letting us know about Quinn's birthday. And anyone else listening tonight, if you have a special birthday or a special announcement that you'd like us to pass on air, send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. That's XZONE at xzoneradiotv.com. Our guest this hour is Dr. Grandmaster Ze, and his website is stardoves.com. How often do you communicate with our space brothers?
Constantly. I'm in constant communication with them, like constant contact. Only I am the forever email man, but I'm also the constant contact with the Confederation. I first pray to what I call Holy Mother, Father, Goddess, God, that gave us life and loves us so much. But afterwards, I pray to the angels, the archangels, the Space Confederation beings, and the spiritual hierarchy with Saint Germain and the Kumaras who came to this planet from Venus. So this is all Aquarian, very different than most people's religion. And I have another character who wants to be acknowledged. May I do so now?
Certainly.
These are the dragons. I see now peacocks raising their heads up out of the grasses. Peacocks were once dragons. And so all the birds were dinosaurs at one time. That's
true.
Scientifically been proven, yeah.
That is true.
But we are also in contact, Brother Rob, with dragons and unicorns and dolphins that speak telepathically to us. And they're part of, and whales, don't forget the whales, and they are all a part of this planetary changeover, switchover. And they don't all eat mushrooms. Eating mushroom is not a prerequisite of this. But I did want to mention one other thing about that. Who was it that during when we were youth that they taught us about the famous story of the little girl who went and ate mushrooms and met a rabbit?
Lewis Carroll.
Alice in Wonderland.
Right, definitely, yeah.
Well, what kind of mushroom do you think she ate? And that was okay for her way back then. I kind of thought it was a bit strange. But then when I realized that, she could have really had those experiences. But back to the dragons. And he's representing now the unicorns that also help. It's not just extraplanetary beings and even the planets and the stars. It's also the dragons and the unicorns. And there is you can ask dragons in your meditation to set, instead of breathing fire on you, they breathe their peace energy. There's a particular type of earth dragon called the peach peace dragon that sends energy to you, peace energy into your aura and into your 12 chakras. You can sense or feel your spiritual centers spinning faster. Constantly talk to the dragon, constantly, about living in peace and spreading with it. In fact, these peace dragons do planetary service work, which is why I mentioned it. I'm reading this from a book about dragons. If you wish to send these peach and gold peace dragons to touch places, people, and situations, first ask them to fill your being with their peace light, and then they will go to large assemblies of people, confederations, and even big governmental nations and help create peace. Help and believe in the dragons.
Let me ask you, where do you find dragons?
In the book.
But I mean, besides the book.
Oh, they're in another dimension.
Oh,
Rob, just like the space people. But they do exist. How
do you know that dragons are real?
Because I talk to them. Oh. I have a different kind of life than the average human.
So you're able to go through different dimensions.
Yes. And I talk to the dragons, the unicorns, the dolphins. Sometimes I have to leave my place because I'm 50 miles away from an ocean. So I can go in there and be with the dolphins. And they bring a very special frequency. And the whales, OMG, I mean, those are really, they're from, you remember Star Trek and Mr. Spock and
I sure
do. Captain, they told us all about the whales and where they came from and how they're there to help the Earth.
Mm-hmm. So how did you learn to communicate with all these different animals in all these different dimensions?
Well, I can tell you that they do have books available in all your metaphysical bookstores on developing telepathy, teleportation. I have a message for you, but I'd have to go find it. But any more teleportation is coming in this time, in this awakening, in this shift. These will be natural capabilities of people. But there are studies that you can do. First, you have to work with your mind so you believe in these, and then you develop your inner, like your third eye, your crown chakra, your inner chakras, through meditation, prayer, yoga, different things which you love to do, and then cap it off with the Jack Daniels every night, and in the morning have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do all of that when you purified your being. You can do what you enjoy.
Not to mention you forgot the most important part, the mushrooms.
No, Jack Daniels. Did you, by the way, find out what George Dickel was?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
We talked last time about Jack Daniels, and you said you lost your Jack Daniels. I said, I lost mine a long time ago, and George Dickel went with it. And you said, George who? I told you down here, or I'm south of Kentucky.
Well, you see, thanks to your president, here in Ontario and other provinces in Canada, we've taken all U.S. alcohol and wines off the shelves, and we do not sell them.
You can't even sneak one in?
Oh, heavens, no. No. No,
that's going to be changing soon.
Well,
and you'll be getting cases of it as gifts from the next president. Free Jack Daniels to all Canadians for 1 year.
I think President Trump did something very good for Canada. He was able to bring Canadians together because of his greed. And
have more love of their country?
Well, no, we realize that we don't need the United States.
Uh-oh.
That we're self-sufficient.
No, lots of people are realizing that.
Yeah, and we're self-sufficient. We love our American friends. We love our families that are down there. But man, I think that President Trump is the Antichrist.
He is.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And I'm really, I can hardly wait for this shift to happen when,
It's happening today, Rob, in these next 4 or 5 days.
Really?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. With the war that is presently going on in between Iran and the United States.
The president called it a skirmish.
Yeah, I heard that. That was so stupid. If there was to be contemplated the use of a nuclear weapon against,
I don't know why I would be laughing.
Would the Space Brothers?
Yes, they would nullify it, neutralize it instantly. They have their eyes on all of it. No nuclear bombs would be allowed to go off. They assure us of that. That's the one thing they will do. The planet cannot be destroyed, not only because of the dear humans, but because of all the other planets. They would be affected too if the planet went boom, boom, and exploded and went out into space. The whole galaxy and universes, everything would be affected.
Because
so they will not allow that.
Because there's a universal balance in play.
Yes.
And such destruction would be very upsetting to the balance that we are working on to bring peace, love, and harmony.
Peace. They do have another message, if I may, Rob.
We've got about 1 minute.
Okay, they were telling me how very definitely true that not every alien flying a spaceship out there is a good one or friendly. In fact, some of them have come down here and taken over the people that we think are our presidents and other people. And they're running the show on many levels. Things aren't what they seem. But that's about to all change with this shift. And it's not going to be a military struggle. It's going to be a peaceful transition into a new age, and we're going to be a part of it. And it's happening now.
It's going to be very interesting to see if the information that you were given by the Space Brothers actually does happen. And I'll be in contact with you in a week, and we'll see what happens.
Rob, you might be out on a sailboat sipping Jack Daniels going by the United States saying, "Woo, it's a whole new world. I am the X Zone is now broadcast from my new ship, the Calypso."
Well, I certainly look forward to those days, my friend. So until the next time you and I meet, take care of yourself and X Zone Nation. If you'd like to find out more about my guest this hour, visit his website, stardoves.com. I'll be back on the other side of this break as hour number 2 of the X Zone starts right after this short break. And we're coming to you on the CanCon Broadcast Network, and of course on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, broadcasting right here from downtown St. Catharines opposite Montebello Park, and they stream us at classic1220.ca. Don't go away.
Peaceful silence in the sky. I felt myself rise above it all, heard a distant voice